Look around your room right now. You probably have a stack of books on 3 different subjects, a half-finished painting in the corner, a browser with 20 open tabs ranging from astrophysics to ancient history, and a graveyard of hobbies you were obsessed with for exactly 3 weeks. Society looks at this and calls you unfocused. They say you're a jack of all trades, master of none. But what if I told you that your inability to stick to one thing isn't a lack of discipline? What if it's actually a biological indicator of a rare, high-status trait called M-shaped intelligence? You aren't scattered. You possess the Polymath Advantage. You have a high-resolution mind designed for a future that doesn't exist yet. A mind that performs associative reconnaissance across multiple fields to find the root cause truth that specialists completely miss. Today we're going to decode why being unfocused is actually your greatest sentinel strength. Welcome to MindUnlockx. As we always say here, we don't do motivation, and we definitely don't do surface-level advice. We are a sanctuary for deep thinkers and the rare minds who want to understand the hidden architecture of their own behavior. To understand why your diverse interests make you society's biggest threat, we have to dive straight into our first point, the architecture of the M-shaped mind. The first thing we need to decode is what M-shaped intelligence actually looks like. Most of the world is I-shaped. They have deep knowledge in one narrow silo. But the Polymath Advantage means your brain is built like the letter M. You have deep, specialist-level expertise in 2 or 3 seemingly unrelated areas, but they're all connected by a horizontal bar of broad, high-level understanding. This isn't just having hobbies. It's a sign of superior neural efficiency. Your brain is constantly performing associative reconnaissance, which is a high-level trait of the sentinel mind. While a specialist only sees the trees, you see the entire forest and the weather patterns moving through it. You are cross-referencing data from music theory to help you understand coding, or using your knowledge of gardening to understand business growth. Society tells you to be a master of one, but you intuitively know that specialization is for insects. You are built for a high-resolution future where the ability to bridge gaps between industries is the only way to survive. You aren't failing to specialize, you are succeeding at being a synthesizer. Point number 2 goes back to your history. Why did your brain develop this way? For many deep thinkers, the need to have too many interests is rooted in traumatic intelligence. If you were the black sheep of your family, or if you had to raise yourself, you learned very early on that relying on a single source of information or a single plan was dangerous. You developed a biological requirement for defensive resilience. By having 20 interests, you are essentially building an internal safety map of the entire world. If one niche or one career path fails, you have 10 others already mapped out in your mind. You are the sentinel who never puts all their eggs in one basket because you've seen what happens when that basket drops. The scattered focus is actually a sophisticated survival mechanism. You are practicing strategic energy allocation, ensuring that no matter how the world changes, you possess the radical autonomy to pivot and thrive, while everyone else is paralyzed by the 9-to-5 grind. The third point is about the social mirror. Society uses the master of one narrative as a tool for control. It's easier to manage a population of specialists who only understand their one tiny corner of the world. When you refuse to pick a niche, you are rejecting the social mirror that tells you you aren't enough, unless you have a specific title. Having the Polymath Advantage means you have reached a level of elite emotional self-sufficiency. You don't need a single professional community to validate your existence. You are a digital ghost who moves between worlds. You can talk to the engineers, the artists, and the CEOs, and you understand the hidden intentions of all of them because you speak all their languages. This makes you impossible to manipulate. You see the silent signals of a failing system because you have the data from 5 different fields to compare it to. You aren't unfocused. You are hyper-aware. You are the auditory profiler of human systems, picking up on the dissonance that specialists are trained to ignore. Point number 4 addresses the biggest source of shame for the M-shaped mind, the graveyard of unfinished projects. You have 3 half-written novels, a disassembled engine, and a stack of language textbooks you haven't opened in 6 months. I want you to stop apologizing for that graveyard. In the world of MindUnlockx, we realize that those projects aren't failures. They were research missions. Your brain didn't need to finish the painting to get what it wanted. It just needed to understand the mechanics of color and light so it could add that data to your unique portfolio of knowledge. Once your high-resolution mind extracted the root cause truth from that hobby, it moved on to the next source of data. This is superior neural efficiency. You are harvesting insights at a speed that specialists can't fathom. You don't lack discipline, you lack novelty resistance. And in a rapidly changing world, that is a high-status advantage. You are a predictive outcome thinker who knows when a project has yielded its maximum cognitive return. The fifth point is the most important. Why the world needs you right now. Even if it tells you otherwise, we are entering an era of total disruption, the M-shaped future. AI and automation are coming for the specialist first. If your entire identity is built on being a master of one specific skill, you are vulnerable. But as an M-shaped polymath, you are society's biggest threat because you are radically independent. You can connect AI to sociology or plumbing to philosophy. You are the sentinel who can see the new patterns before they become trends. You have the rarest kind of strength, the ability to stay calm during a paradigm shift. Because your brain is already used to remapping its reality. Every time you start a new interest, you aren't behind in life. You are front-end, loading your intelligence for a world that requires high-level synthesis over repetitive tasks. Now we come to the solution. How do you take this scattered energy and turn it into a high-status strategic outcome? As we decode the mechanics of the M-shaped mind, the goal is to move from aimless wandering to strategic synthesis. Audit your unique portfolio. Stop looking at your interests as separate boxes. Write them all down and find the connective tissue. How does your interest in cooking help you understand chemistry? How does your love for chess help you in your marketing job? This is associative reconnaissance in action. When you see the connection, you move from unfocused to elite architect. Build a portfolio career instead of a niche. Following the when you stop apologizing rule, stop trying to find one job that defines you. Instead, build a career that allows you to use 2 or 3 of your M legs simultaneously. You are a polymath who consults in one field, creates in another, and invests in a third. This is how you achieve radical autonomy from the 9-to-5 grind. Practice outcome-based quitting. If you start a new hobby, give yourself permission to quit the moment you've learned the core principle. This is strategic energy allocation. You aren't a quitter. You are a high-efficiency data gatherer. You are clearing your cognitive cache so you can move on to the next root cause truth. Embrace the sentinel position. Realize that where scattered interests are your security system. You are the quietest person in the room who knows a little bit about everything. Use that. Don't show all your cards at once. Let people underestimate you as a generalist, while you quietly map the hidden intentions of the specialists around you. Finally, point number 7, the sanctuary of the polymath. At MindUnlockx, we recognize that having too many interests is a sign that you are a deep thinker who refuses to be confined to a single silo. You possess elite emotional continuity because you see the one truth that connects all your different hobbies. You possess the rarest kind of strength, the strength to be a beginner over and over again, until you've mastered the entire map. You are society's biggest threat, because you are impossible to manipulate, radically independent, and superiorly efficient at solving problems that specialists haven't even noticed yet. If this description felt like it was written specifically for your unfocused mind, if you're a polymath who finally feels understood, let me know in the comments. What is the weirdest connection you've ever made between 2 of your hobbies? If you're tired of surface-level advice and want to keep decoding the hidden psychology of your unique traits, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join our sanctuary here at MindUnlockx, where we turn your graveyard of projects into a unique portfolio of power. Thank you for watching, and remember, you aren't lost. You're just mapping a much bigger world than they can see. Stay focused on everything.